This is every Call of Duty Zombies game ranked from worst to best. This video is entirely based on my own opinion, which makes it indisputable fact. Call of Duty Vanguard. It should come as no surprise to anyone that this game comes in at dead fucking last, with off the back of launch having the absence of round-based maps, pack-a-punch camos, wonder weapons and, you know,
a pause button.
All the way to now, where we've seen the most underwhelming continuation of the Dark Ether story, and little to no patches or updates to the game's initial problems from launch. All of that and more makes me feel very sorry for the devs that had to work on this complete waste of human effort, and the experience of playing this game is likened to both drinking paint thinner and pouring vinegar on your eyes simultaneously. If what you look for in a game is to have fun and keep your sanity, then run as far away from this game as possible. Absolute dog shit. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Now we move to the second to last place on this list, where, unlike Vanguard, this game mode is at least, you know,
playable.
Now this might be a controversial pick to put this at the bottom of the non-Treyarch games, but in my honest opinion, outside of Zombies in Spaceland and Raven the Redwoods, there's not much in this game that keeps me coming back. That, paired with the atmosphere on some of these maps just feeling off to me, makes this mode feel like a parody of better Zombies games, which puts this game squarely in the second to last spot on this list.
But still light years better than Vanguard.
Call of Duty World War II. It was a tight race between Infinite Warfare and this, but this won out because of its heavy emphasis on the horror aspect of the game mode, as well as the variety of content this game has to offer. The mix of big-scale Easter egg maps with small-scale survival maps makes this game more replayable in my eyes. However, taking into account the actual piss-poor initial launch of the Tortured Path DLC at the time, shoots this game right down to the third bottom spot. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. With how hyped the initial launch of this game was, and how good the game engine was for the Zombies mode, I am so disappointed with how it turned out. With the game's full life cycle on display, it's annoying how little we actually got from such a promising game. It delivered on 4 round-based maps, all of which being facility maps, may I add, and 1 fandom-dividing extra game mode, which very well could spell the doom of round-based zombies as we know it.
It also had Dead Ops Arcade 3, but I guess no one cared about that one, huh?
Don't get me wrong, I don't hate this game, I'm just frustrated with how much more I would have loved this game if Activision weren't greedy arseholes and actually gave us the Zombies content they promised leading up to the game's release.
Also, I shouldn't have to go into a menu to upgrade my weapon. Why can't you let me just hold F like the good old days?
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. The best way to describe this game is good idea, poor execution. People are going to give me shit for putting this game this high on the list, but taking into account that this is the first Zombies mode that wasn't made by Treyarch, there was a lot riding on it. And I applaud Sledgehammer for wanting to give this mode its own identity separate from the Ether stuff, which is all there was for Zombies at the time. Considering the circumstances, the advanced movement system wasn't implemented too poorly into the mode. I think it more came down to the map designs. Though I will admit, most of the maps are solid despite what some people say. We have the map Outbreak.
No, not Cold War Outbreak, the original Outbreak. You know, the one with the first Exfil cutscene.
It also had the maps Carrier and Descent.
We don't talk about Burger Town though.
Overall, this game mode does a lot wrong, but it does a lot more right that it doesn't get credit for, in my opinion. Call of Duty World at War. Okay, we're getting to the games where I have literally nothing bad to say anymore. This game started it all for Zombies. I can't imagine what players were thinking when they finished the campaign and they get that infamous cutscene. People dock points from this game nowadays because of how dated and glitchy it feels in comparison to the newer games, but in my opinion that enhances the experience. The fact that all these maps on this game have been remastered so many fucking times shows their staying power and impact they still have on the mode all these years after this game was created. Call of Duty Black Ops. Blissful childhood nostalgia. Everyone knows this mode is great and solidified Zombies as being the definitive third game mode for COD. And though the Black Ops 1 engine doesn't lend well to the mode now in hindsight, I don't understand why people are starting to lose faith with this game now. There are some absolute banger maps on here
that aren't that one map in the theatre.
Easter eggs, new perks, really solid storyline. Even though World at War gets all the credit for starting the mode, Zombies as a game mode would not be where it is today if it weren't for this game taking what was there and improving massively. Call of Duty Black Ops 4. The more I play this game, the less I understand the continued hate it gets. The box weapon balancing is pretty good, the litany of bonus modes on offer is astounding, and outside of the player being spawned in with a specialist weapon at the start and having to pack-a-punch your gun 4 times, I really don't see what's wrong with this game. And even though I dislike the absence of Jug, I have to appreciate and applaud the boldness of the perk system on this game and the willingness to try something new with this mode that doesn't require crutch perks. And outside of Alpha Omega, there are no maps on this game I actively hate, which is why I ranked it as my third favourite. Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I've always said that Black Ops 2 is my favourite game of all time. It has the Green Run survival maps, some very underrated side modes like Grief and Turned, as well as 3 of the very best Zombies maps ever made, Mob, Buried and Origins. And taking into account the hate Transit gets, I understand why it's a bad map, but I still find enjoyment on it. And then there's Die Rise, which is, you know, one of the maps of all time. This game is iconic, plain and simple, which is why it landed at the second place. And it could have very easily ranked at number 1 if it wasn't for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I don't think this being at number 1 would surprise anyone. The list of reasons why this one is the best is long, but I'll give you the cliff notes. It delivered 5 mainline Easter egg quest maps that range in quality from above average to god tier across the board. It also delivered a faithful remake of a beloved classic map so the casual fans still had something to play, as well as a storyline that was so captivating that it had everyone, including me, in a chokehold at the time. All the other cool shit this game has includes, but isn't limited to, Chronicles, because 6 high quality maps wasn't enough apparently, custom mod tools, shout out to Steam Workshop, a nightmare mode, as well as Dead Ops Arcade 2. All these things I mentioned there and more make it no surprise that this game is still the most played Call of Duty game of all time, even 8 years after it came out. And just like that, we've reached the end of the video. I very much hope you... Oh, wait. I forgot about Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. Oh yeah, I just remembered. I don't care. Also, if you're wondering where COD Ghost Extinction is, I rank it mid-tier, not enough zombies. And there you go. That was all of the Call of Duty Zombies games ranked.